Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Kuhaloyimla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit, and wanted to touch on this article with AT&T with the supposedly newer data breach. Now they're trying to make it seem as if this is a part of the old one, if you are familiar with that. But going off into this data, we have to keep our people plugged into this information as far as anything that's got to do with digital, anything to do with your data, anything to do with this governmental oversight, spying shit, and whatever they're doing with the citizens. We have to keep our people plugged into that, man. You know what I'm saying? And also this right here is a PSA. Well, if you're dealing with AT&T, you might want to be on alert for certain things. You know what I'm saying? Or because they got quite a bit of information this time. As far as I can see. Okay, but it says major data breach exposes 86 million AT&T customer records, including social security numbers. Right, so they have some in here where I guess a couple of places where you can go and see how to know if you were affected or not. Which you should be able to ask fucking AT&T. But it says AT&T has experienced a massive personal data breach. So if you're one of the more than 100 million people who use the company, you'll want to be on guard. According to the new report from Hack Reed, more than 86 million customers have been affected with leaked details ranging from full names to date of birth, phone numbers, emails, email addresses, physical addresses. It says it's reported that more than 44 million social security numbers were also included in the data breach. While each of these data sets poses privacy risks on their own, together they could create a full identity profiles that could be exploited for fraud and identity theft. And we ain't gonna even talk about, damn AI to go with it. These people are already able to just, take AI to a whole another level. They got that kind of information. They can really do some real fucking damage, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Let me just grab a quick script. The scriptures talks about walking circumspectly. Yeah, we do the best we can, man. Certain shit we just know that Esau he gonna eventually do type of deal. But we do the best that we can, and prayer goes a long ways, man. So just pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for the protection of your identity like that, your data and shit. These people don't get out here and get to plan with your livelihood. Ephesians 5:15, it says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil." See, and that's a full-fledged commandment right there, man. See then that ye walk circumspectly, which means to watch. The scripture says to watch and pray. That word circumspect goes up into, pretty much like a circle or, looking around. Whether it's physically or, spiritually for sure. But it says not as fools, but as wise. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Because we're living in some very wicked and evil times, man. And people are desperate as hell. It's so many hacks going on now. All this digital shit. And see, what Esau, and me speaking as a man, what he's overall going to do is he's going to say, hey, I got a solution for that problem. And this particular company, I wanted to get off into a little bit. I went into a little bit of it earlier with the earlier video. But like this guy right here, Trump, it says Trump taps into Palantir to compile data on Americans, right? So when you go into the overview, they're a lot of these tech magazines and tech vlogs and posts and whatever, they talking about this right here is a nightmare for these people to spy on you, and we get it, you know what I'm saying? We do understand that eventually, they're going to come down with the hammer as far as this digital age, man, because that's all it is turning into. Everything is digital. You can't do shit without a simple email these days. You can't do shit. You can't even fill out a job application. You used to be able to go into a store and ask for an application, they'll give you that piece of paper, man, and shit, actually hand you a pen and give you a place to sit down and fill that bitch out at real quick. You know, if you trying to get a job now, you're gonna have all kinds of spam emails and bullshit robocalls, all kinds of shit calling your ass back. Everybody gonna be calling you back except for who you trying to apply the job for. That's just one example. But anyway, I wanted to get off into these numbers here and jump straight to the point here. It says the Trump administration right here. You can get this. This is in New York Times. So it says the Trump administration has expanded Palantir's work across the federal government in recent months. The company has received more than $113 million in federal government spending since Trump took office. Now, mind you, he's talking about all this waste and cuts, and we need to cut this and we need to cut that, but he's putting money towards stuff like this. Okay, so it says Mr. Trump took office, according to public records, including additional funds from existing contracts, as well as new contracts with the Department of Homeland Security and the Pentagon. This does not include a $795 million contract with the Department of Defense awarded to the company last week, which has not been spent. Representatives of Palantir are also speaking to at least two other agencies, the Social Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service, about buying its technology, according to 6 government officials and Palantir employees with knowledge of the discussion. So they're going to be in control of all digital data overall. You know what I'm saying? So they can easily, at this point, see, this is what Trump and them been building up on, man. This is why, let me get this one scripture. We're not ignorant of this man's devices, man. Now, if they got control of all that, what are you going to do? They can easily just, easily write you out of the program like it's nothing. Delete that person. Delete your whole damn Social Security number. Or they can have it to a point where they can set you up where you trying to go somewhere thinking that you about to use a debit card or some shit like that, and it's a alert to the police station to come and get you. As they can put anything in the information and saying, as to what kind of thief you ain't done shit. We've seen all kinds of movies like that. We've seen plenty of movies like that. So we have to be alert. But this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And again, you got to think about the key players that was standing around Trump. Matter of fact, let's do this. Because when Trump first came in, hey, I remember the last election, he wasn't on none of this tech shit. He was actually against it. But now, let's see. I'm just going to put in something to the extent of, got to use it. We use their little tech. We use this world to and not abuse it. We use their tech for right off. So here we go right here. I don't know who the fuck that is, boy. But they've been back and forth with the full throttle. Fuck around and hear a damn siren soon. Okay, but it says there are several individuals connected to the tech industry who have been seen in close proximity to Donald Trump or are reported to be associated with his political circle. These individuals include Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla. We know about that. And they're trying to throw it out there as if they're just beefing, and we know they're not. He's a strong supporter of Trump. Pledged financial support to Trump-aligned super PAC. Now, you have to realize that he's in... See, they're mentioning Tesla. They're not mentioning Neuralink, the damn brain chip. Because all this stuff is becoming digital. And ain't no telling what this guy done when he went off in there, man, for this little amount of time that he was in there claiming, right? So they got venture capitalists and individuals like David Sachs, Mark Andreessen, and Ben Horowitz are identified as being on the Trump train. Tech executives, billionaire CEOs, companies like Amazon Apple, Google, Meta, and TikTok were present at Trump's inauguration. Now, at first, when they trying to get rid of TikTok, now Trump, he was saying, he went to talking about how, well, he won a lot of the votes through TikTok, and he kept floating back and forth whether he's going to shut the shit down, and people was out here crying and praying and all kinds of shit that their TikTok accounts. So all these people, the billionaire, with places like Amazon, Apple, Google, these pretty much, these are the companies that run the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. It's really not a whole bunch that you can do, because you already know that, places like Walmart, Target, big box stores, like, they going forward. They shit already digitalized to the point where, they don't even have cashiers in those stores like that no more. You might be able to go and it may be 2 or 3 cashiers in that big ass store. You might have one person at customer service, but you'll have this crowd of people at these self-checkout lanes, man. So they already conditioning the people to be on that digital shit. People are doing a lot more Apple Pay. They just tapping and paying, little shit like that. So the people are being conditioned to actually get off into this Revelation 13 and 16. Okay, so Revelation 13, verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." So now let's go back to these stores again, because these are stores. These are places where you buy and sell, right? Let's get to stores again. Billionaire CEOs, companies, Amazon. You buy and sell. You can buy and sell on there. Apple, Google, Meta, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? People, it's all got to do with digital, a digital form where people buy and sell on it. You can go to, shit like Facebook. Hell, I think they even got shit like the Marketplace, Craigslist. So they're just naming off a few of these big companies. But the any of these companies that's digitally kind of huge, they dealing with all these places, man, and they're all in on the deal. Let me see. It says it's important to note that the extent of the big technology involvement with Trump varies and is a matter of ongoing discussion and observation. But we just seen this one other guy, and then yesterday too, they was doing some little, he had this meeting yesterday, I think it was called the Trump accounts, where he's doing a deal with the Uber CEO, Dell, the computer owner, and who else was it? That's a whole nother hookup as far as digital. So everybody that he has around him, it's all digital. Now, when you look at the way that he's running things with what's going on out west with the immigrants, and sending in the National Guard and sending in, these Marines and stuff like that, and he's over topping the governor, because the governor is the one that's supposed to be able to call in if they need help. They didn't need the National Guard to come there, but Trump sent them in anyway, and that's showing you that he's overriding government. He's overriding judges. He's not listening to what they have to say. He's making decisions. He's doing it, and no one is stopping him, man. So just wanted to just point that out real quick. But anyway, it goes on to say in this article, the stolen data is reportedly fully decrypted and first posted to a Russian cybercrime forum on May 15th before being re-uploaded on the same forum on June 3rd. So whether that's true or not, still it's strategic, because Esau, he can come through and say, see, we need to do something about this fraud. We need to protect the American people. And by doing so, we're going to have to, hire, this is me speaking as a man, because they're going to have to make shit foul as hell for people to actually go for this chip thing. Where the majority, some people are just going to, we already know it's going to be some resistance, because some people are going to know and already, they know what's up already. But, you got a lot of gullible ass people out here, like, they're going to push a bunch of damn commercials on you and make it seem as if, they're about your safety, which they always do. They always act as if how, how much they love you. As a matter of fact, that's that script. Let's go into the Apocrypha real quick, where it talks about they go crouching. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away," which means he's going to eventually show you those true colors. This motherfucker would stop, man. I'm just sick and tired of hearing that shit. This nigga been riding that fucking bike like that, man, for fucking hours. Anyway, it says, again, though he humble himself, he's going to come at you like as if he's really about the American people. Look at what Trump done to get there. He's not doing any of the shit that he was telling the American people or the people that voted for him, other than got them thinking that, okay, I'm gonna save you white people from these brown people that are actually picking your fruits and vegetables. See, when he done that, he ain't do nothing but make your damn groceries higher. But they still riding with him. He hasn't brought your gas prices down. The food still hasn't come down. You know, he's cut a bunch of their fucking jobs. You know, he's deleting programs, veteran shit, Medicaid. So really, in reality, the only thing, see, he's geared off the fuel of the hate that you so-called white people have for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's that, that hatred that Esau has for Jacob. So, but what did he do? He came in with that smooth tongue. We're gonna make America great again. We're gonna do this. Now, mind you, all these cuts that he been doing. We found a waste over here. Billions of dollars are being wasted over here. Billions are we saved like $1 trillion, $2 trillion. But he's not sharing it with you. He's not giving it to any of you. He's giving it to these tech companies. Come on, bro. You got $800 million you about to give to just one company? And that's not including that's just like a little bit of a down payment, man. Anyway, I'll read verses 12 and 13 as well. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 12. "Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith." So eventually, if you get down with this dude after the Lord told you not to, you're gonna feel the fire. You take that chip. That Revelation 14 and 9 gonna come into play. Verse 13, it says, "Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?" Like, who's gonna pity you after you've been told not to deal with this man? He's not to be trusted. As a matter of fact, let me get that one. I read Revelation 13 and 16, but let's get 14 and 9, where it talks about what's going to happen to you if you deal with this man in that way. You take any of this digital shit and let this man put the shit in your body, yeah, you're toast. Revelation 14 and 9. "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Yep, you're gonna be your ass gonna be broiled, man. I can't even say broiled. It's gonna be you like for real. You're gonna catch that real fire, man. Chapter 16, verse 2. Revelation 16 and 2. And actually, I had a dream like 2 or 3 nights ago with a woman that had her hand in her hand. It was like a big ass hole in it, basically. With a big stupid ass pus boil. Like it was, it wasn't, the hole wasn't all the way through her hand, but it was just the way that it was. It was just nasty as hell. And I can remember in the dream trying to wrap the shit. But anyway, Revelation 16 and 2, it says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." And that was a grievous sore that was on whatever woman this was I can't really explain it. It was like greenish on the inside, and it was just pussy. You know what I'm saying? It was nasty, man. It was a real nasty wound in her hand. So anyway, let's see what else they got to say in this data breach, though. But yeah, man, do whatever you can. Just be on the lookout for fishy. I don't answer fucking scam calls or strange ass phone numbers, doofy ass emails. You know, because right now they'll think that I've been getting those emails where they make it seem as if the DMV, where you got these fines that you need to pay, or they're gonna take your drivers, you know, suspend your drivers, like, you know, bunch of shit. You know, that's just online, where you got to be careful, because a lot of it is some scam type shit. You get to clicking into some spam or something. Next thing you know, man, your whole shit drained. And I know a lot of people here where I live, I'm talking about motherfuckers been losing tens of thousands of dollars. Like, all I done was just, you know, I answered the phone and you know, just little shit. You don't want to deal with a lot. Just leave that. My uncle, he do a lot of that shit. You know, and I be telling him, man, just don't answer the phone. What the fuck are you even answering the phone? But see, he wants to answer the phone and get to acting like, you know what I'm saying? He wants to, because he's so tired of them. Yeah, I just want to cuss him out. Well, no, you ain't got to don't do that. You don't have to, you know, because all they have to do is hear your voice. Slock you. Because you'll have a robocall, and it might say, you know, something, and you know, whatever. Or they may, somebody might be on the other end of the line and ask you a question, and, you know, a simple yes or no question. You might say yes, or you might say no, or that's all they need. You know, it's just a piece of your voice to actually activate some shit. You know, so, you know, you have to be circumspect, man. Anyway, it goes on to say, it is not uncommon for cyber criminals to repackage previously disclosed data for financial gain. An AT&T spokesperson told Hack Reed in a statement, "We just learned about the claims that AT&T data is being made available for sale on the dark web form, and we are conducting a full investigation." This shit, the police on the block now, they probably trying to get this nigga. Somebody probably done complain, because motherfucker keep shooting up and down the back streets, up streets, down street, back street. So now I see 2 squad cars right out here in the front. I've been seeing police all damn day, though. Anyway, though. See that shit? Motherfucker just back and forth. But they just sitting there right now. Shit, they ain't even letting the damn cars pass. Anyway, let me take my ass back to the back. Okay, but it says the original seller of the exposed data claimed that this leak is originally one of the databases from Snowflake breach. But according to Hack Reed's analysis, there are about 16 million more records in this breach than the previous one. So, hey, man. Well, if you're part of AT&T, man, best I can say do is, hey, you should try and check up on it. Or if you see anything coming through on your phone, or, you know, little whatever, just be careful, man, with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be clicking into shit. I'm always hitting junk and report spam on everything come through that's not, you know, because I don't deal with a lot of people like that anyway. I might get one phone call a week, if that. I don't even use a phone like that. You know, if I get a text, I don't think maybe I got. My dad texted me today for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how often, you know, or how less often I would say that I'm using a phone. The only time I'm using a phone or internet or any of that is to do lessons. That's it, man. So yeah, just be alert, be circumspect. And with that, shalom.